All right, guys. What a night, right? What a performance. Listen, don't let that 5-3 scoreline fool you. We finished 5-3, yes, but that first half was one of the one of the best halves I've ever seen this season, all year long, all year long. My emotions are finally cooling down, so I had enough time to think overnight. So let me walk through everything that I saw, and yes, I'm gonna go a little bit long in this video because everything that I'm gonna say really, really, really matters. So first, context, right? We rested a lot of players. We have no Rafinha, no Lewandowski, no Dani Olmo, no Fermin, and no Frenkie. That is four starters from our attack and our midfield, and they're out of the lineup in this game. And still, we dismantle two of Spain's best teams in the span of 4 days. The Atletico de Madrid had a 7 game winning streak, and Real Betis, they hadn't lost a game. They hadn't lost a game in the last 8 games, and that was at their own stadium in La Cartuja. That was not an easy place to play. That's heading into the weekend. That was not an easy game. That's not luck. That is coaching. That's planning, and that is Mr. Hansi Flick. And I thank you so much for being the coach. So before I give you my 5 key takeaways of this game, you guys know what I need you to do, man. Hit that like button. Get in the comments and tell me what is your biggest key takeaway of this game, and I'll check the best ones. And you know what I'll do? On the next episode, I will show the ones that I do like the most, and the ones that take their time and go into depth in this analysis. Right. My key takeaway number one is tactical genius. Lamine Yamal at the 10 and Roony Bardhji on the right. Flick took a risk in this game. He put Lamine Yamal as the number 10, as a cam. He pushed Rooney Bardhji to the right. That's not conservative. That's a little bit of a gamble. And it worked spectacularly. That first half was fluid. It was cohesive. It was fun. We moved the ball with purpose. We created with intent. If you would have told me that 2 months ago, that Lamine Yamal at the 10 would produce this level of ball control and creativity, I'd have raised my eyebrows, man. I would have said, like, I can't believe this. And if we talk about Lamine Yamal in this game, man, he had 1 goal, 44 passes completed, 94% pass accuracy. That was the second most, only behind Pedri. 8 passes into the final third. That was the most in the game. 3 key passes. That is the most in our team. 2 big chances created. That is the most in the game. And he had 3 successful dribbles. That's most. 12 grand duels won. That means he's one-on-one and he's winning. 6 fouls won. That is most. 2 tackles won. That means he's playing defense. He had 7 recoveries. That is the most in our team. So yeah, Flick, play this setup again, please. My key takeaway number 2 is Rooney Bardhji is not a fluke. He's a future star. Listen, Rooney Bardhji is him. Unlucky, he's very unlucky to be competing with Lamine Yamal, with one of the world's best right wingers. Yes, I know. But look, man, look at his profile. 241 minutes, 2 goal contributions already, and he just doesn't stop working, man. He comes on, he changes the game. He kisses the badge right after that goal that he scored, like a kid that grew up dreaming to play at the Camp Nou. And there's a video of him doing that, jumping up and down at the Camp Nou as a little boy. And that is exactly the story that we coolers, we love to hear from our players. And you know what, man? He's not flashy for just the sake of it. He's reliable, he's hungry, and he's effective. And if Flick gives him more minutes, and he should, the team really benefits, man. Mark my words, this is a future star in the making in Roony Bardhji. My key takeaway number 3 is Ferran Torres, the super sub. Listen, man. He scored a hat trick today. That's the headline, right? And everyone will just still question him in big moments, and I do too. Everyone always does. But here's the cold read on this. This season is not a marathon. This season is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's a marathon of games, man. And Lewandowski is the elite finisher, but that's not a debate. But he's not available every single game. And Ferran, he's a cheat code coming off the bench or as a fill-in role for Lewandowski or for our future prolific striker when we sign him. I will say keep Ferran Torres as a super sub. His positioning is truly elite. His movement is near perfect. The problem isn't the IQ. It's the finishing consistency with Ferran. And on a Ferran day, he'll score a hat-trick like he did against Betis. And then on an off day, you'll want to throw something at the TV like he did against Club Brugge. He's indispensable as depth, though. That's the thing. Do not say Ferran out at the end of the season. Let's just keep him for depth. My key takeaway number 4 is midfield reality check Marc Bernal versus Frenkie. Listen, man. A lot of people will disagree with this take, and I can already see it. Before you go down and sprinting through the comment section, remember this. I said this. Frenkie is world class when he's on. But he hasn't been consistent this season. He's been inconsistent. And when you're paying elite money for an inconsistent output, then the conversation really shifts. Let's enter Marc Bernal. Tonight, what he brought was incredible balance, a warrior, defensive stability, recovery, balance. That allows Pedri to be creative. I would wish I would have seen them at the same time in this game. If we're honest about our finances and then squad construction, moving wage heavy pieces and rebalancing around Pedri and Marc Bernal and more of a balanced partner that opens up a real championship pathways. This isn't a hate on Frenkie. It's just business and football. I think with Frenkie and Pedri, we do have a lot of the same. I think with Marc Bernal, if he can come back to this type of level, I think we have found our best partner for Pedri Gonzalez. But let me know in the comments. I want to hear you. And I know we pay Frenkie a lot and Lewandowski a lot. So I will deep dive into this in just a little bit. But here's my key takeaway number 5. Gerard Maldini, the defensive resilience, and Joan García. Look, man, Gerard Maldini is showing an aura, man. He's very coachable. He's consistent. He wins duels in the air and on the ground. People wanted him gone at the end of the season. Look, man, I might have been one of them. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not blaming anybody, but he's delivering. And even Hansi Flick said he always delivers. I'm extremely shocked to see how good Gerard Maldini has been as a left CB, man. His technique is great. I know he's a little slow for some people liking. Some people don't like that he's a little slow to every play. But you know what, man? You can say that he's slow, but he's always on time. He's always making the great decisions, always making unbelievable interceptions and winning every single duel. I'm shocked. He looks like the better center back, and he looks like he could lead our back line as well, the way that he works, man. So some honorable mentions, man. For me, it's going to be Pedri Gonzalez, 3 assists in the last 2 games. Creativity is always there, look. The difference is, can attackers finish his chances that he creates? And this game we did. Rafinha puts it away against Atletico Madrid, and in this game is Ferran Torres finishing up, or Roony Bardhji finishing up the goals from Pedri Gonzalez. The way that he controls the tempo is just insane, man. So my next honorable mention is going to be Joan García. Listen, he conceded 3 goals. In spite of that, he still had a high rating as a goalkeeper, because you know what? The way that he intercepts transition plays, the way that he leaves the box with so much confidence, the way that he's always focused and looking at what can he do better in terms of making this defense better, man, is just truly an elite performance by Joan García, even after conceding so many goals. And one of the things I said, guys, Let's take it easy on Joan Garcia because I know our defense, our backline will hand them out to dry. And look at this game. We made mistakes. We allowed that penalty. That was a boneheaded mistake by Kunde. We allowed Anthony to be onside when Kunde doesn't hustle back in. That's another mistake by Kunde. That's 2 goals. In reality, that we only should have conceded 1, and that's the thing. And even that 1 goal, that third one that we conceded, wasn't even his fault. So to me, man, Joan Garcia is truly, truly, truly beautiful to watch him at Barcelona. So listen, man, if we can trim wages and if we can free up space, moving high earners that achieving sometimes. And I'm looking at Frenkie and I'm looking at Lewandowski for next season. We can construct. We can add more balanced midfielders. We can keep Pedri as a creative fulcrum, and we can invest in youth like Marc Bernal. And that fits something like Marc Bernal that would fit Flick's system, press plus control identity, right? This season shows a blueprint. And this game shows a blueprint of balance, athleticism, and tactical bravery to win games. And we can build that way. We can build on that kind of a balanced midfielder, right? I don't think it was a fluke, man. I would love to see Marc Bernal at this kind of level with Pedri Gonzalez in a game very soon. Okay, look, man. This wasn't a flash in the pan. This wasn't a lucky night at Betis a la Cartuja. This is a pattern. 2 big performances back to back. Hansi Flick is doing what good coaches do. He's trusting principles, developing systems, and getting the squad to buy in. You can see shape. You can see identity. You can see the spine forming, right? When your managers trust young players and those players repay the trust with impact. That's when clubs really change direction. We're talking about evolution. We're talking about the beginning of a movement here. Roony Bardhji's hunger, Ferran Torres cheat code off the bench, Lamine Yamal unlocking pathways at the camp, Marc Bernal bringing that balance to the midfield, and Gerard Martin delivering consistency with Joan Garcia. He's saving points, man. This is all coming together, bro. This is all coming together. The Hansi Flick's vision, and that's a project, and that is a team getting its soul back. And we are playing Flick football once again. Tonight was truly a joy to watch. That was proof. Flick's Barca is starting to look like a team that has both structure and entertainment value. If you want a long-term success, you reward what's working and correct what doesn't work. Let's keep the faith, man. Let's keep the criticism constructive and keep demanding standards. Now, guys, I want to hear from you. What is your biggest key takeaway of this game? Comment down below. Hit the subscribe if you're new. And if you enjoy this breakdown, smash that like button. And guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, it's lonely at the top. Visca el Barça.